Evening all. Who knows how this one will turn out. We're getting there. Stephen there. Oh, Black Valley. Welcome back to my fireside of a Saturday evening. Wasn't going to put one on tonight, but we'll get to that in a minute. Smoking the meerschaum. What do I do with it? Who knows? And the plumber's tape that has tightened up the joints. I should work on my fingers and my knees. But that's another story. In this, I am smoking almost the last of my velvets. My first foray into, well, almost. I had a very, very small trial sample of Carter Hall. So I suppose that was my first foray into American OTC. But I'm coming to the end of my pouch of velvet. See if we can get that going a bit. This has quite a narrow drawer on it. Which I found when you're passing a pipe cleaner through it. I've got some church warden pipe cleaners. It tends to strip off the fibres and they block it up even more. Which is a shame, because I think the key to this is to keep it assembled, not take it apart. We'll get there in the end. Yeah, I was going to put one up tonight. But today of days, the Rugby Six Nations Championship kicked off yesterday evening. I've spoken about this last year at the same time. The Rugby Six Nations, for those that don't follow it, is, I mean, Italy joined it many years back now. But basically it was the home nations, so it was Ireland, the Republic of Ireland, not Northern Ireland, Wales, Scotland, England and France. And then Italy as the best of the rest in European teams joined. Other countries play it, but they can't, they don't, it's not a big sport there. So it doesn't actually, they're not up to the level that would actually make it worth their while joining the championship. Well, having said that, Italy have now lost 18 games on the trot. I'm trying to loosen this up a bit because it's not drawing as well. And there's a lot of debate as to whether Georgia, one of the former Soviet republics, Soviet socialist republics, should take their place. But not for the time here. So anyway, yes, we went to Dublin today. Our first game, England being we, our first game of the Six Nations Championship, we were the underdogs. Ireland are a fantastic team, rated second in the world, only behind the mighty All Blacks of New Zealand. And we won comprehensively. Hey, something to cheer for at last. Well, rugby's a funny old game. The opening game last night, France against Wales in Paris. In the first half, France ripped them a new one. Absolutely tore them to bits. Second half, threw the game away. Wales didn't win it, France lost it. That's the way with rugby. It's not like many other sports. Is it, boy? No, it's not. No. But for tonight at least, Englishmen and women can rejoice. I'm sucking like a lunatic trying to keep this going. Let's have another go. Yes, yes. Cheers, boy, and cheers one and all. Up the English. And fair play to the Irish. Cracking team. Cheers. Drinking some King Goblin. And listening to the legendary Fat Swallow. This is a 4 CD box set. If you can get hold of this, I highly recommend it. Handful of keys. This is the second disc. Dates from the mid-30s. I think I'm going to have to give up on this, boy. It's like trying to suck a marble through a straw. I've got a filter pad at the bottom as well to keep the tobacco away from the draft hole. I dismantled the whole thing and ran pipe cleaners through it. You know, where are we? We've done the pipe, the tobacco, we've done the beer, we've done the music. Let's go it out again. I love this music, and I played Art Tatum the other week. And Louis Armstrong, of course. But Fats, this is the ultimate feel-good music. Died of pneumonia at the age of 39. But his death was hastened by his heavy alcohol intake. They say Louis Armstrong broke down and cried when he heard that he died. And you can see the similarities, the love for music, you know. Any road up. This, for the first time in 2 years, I couldn't sort my phone out. So if you're seeing this, I have recorded this on my old camcorder. Who knows how it will turn out. cross my fingers if I could, but my fingers hurt so much these days I can't. But yeah, it's on the camcorder. And hopefully that will mean I can edit it and stick an intro on it. I've been trying to watch some videos recently. Mentioned before that I couldn't because I didn't like. I bought earbuds to supplement these terrible speakers on the laptop, and I just couldn't get on with wearing them. Didn't like it. You having fun yet? So I bought this. This is a little speaker that plugs directly into the headphone jack. And you can turn it on and off. You have to charge it up. Absolutely amazing the difference it has made. Incredible quality for £10.99, about $12, $13. Amazing what they can do nowadays. Now, what else have I been up to? Bought some tobacco. Not any yab, I already opened it. But I followed on from my American OTC order with the same guy on eBay in the UK. I bought some Walter Raleigh, half and half, neither of which I've opened yet, and the Velvet, which I'm just finishing now. Which I like, but I don't think I'll buy again. Like so many tobaccos, smells great when you open it. Flavour doesn't really come through. I'm going to put this down. I bought some more backies then. I bought myself some Carter Hall, little box. I don't really see tobacco packaged like that now. Now these three Villager Tropical, Villager New World Export, Villager Jamaican Export. I'm looking forward to trying all of them. Here's the man's card. So that's something to look forward to. I would open more tobaccos and have them open at a time, but I've got to buy jars to put them in because you leave them in the pouch and they dry out. Don't they, Bob? Yes. Now, what else have I buying up? What I'm buying up to? Even been up to? I ain't Australian. I've been reading. No, I said hello to her twice. Now I can take her a tea, just like I'm breaking the ice. I said I was going to read Lord of the Rings again, and I've started it. But Gary, Gentleman Scholar, asked me if I was going to read The Hobbit again first. I've worked it out, it's getting on for 15 years since I last read Lord of the Rings, having read it every year for the... from about 1970 up to about so every year for about 30 years. And haven't read it for about 15 years now. And The Hobbit I have not read for many, many, many years. It's what led me to Lord of the Rings, obviously. But then The Lord of the Rings was the book that hooked me. But I thought, yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to read The Hobbit first. Yeah. Here's the first one. That's the original paperback that I read about 1970, so 48 years ago. A drawing by Tolkien on the front, The Death of Smaug. Amazing. The mid-70s, I was unemployed and had time on my hands. Lived alone. And I used to spend my time browsing the local bookshop. A very, very small, what you call now an independent bookshop. There were no big chains then, really. But it was about 1975, 76. And I was browsing and I saw this, the hardback. Colour plates. And I bought it. Now, I don't know how many times I've read that version of it, but this is the one I read prior to reading The Lord of the Rings again. The 1975 version. This book had been in print since 1937 by the same publisher, George Allen Unwin and Son. I think that's it. There are so many printing errors in that book you would not believe. I was staggered all the way through from start to finish. Misspellings, added letters, letters missing, all the way through the book. Absolutely incredible for a book that had been in print since 1937. I saw it through to the end, but I mean I compared it to the pages that I've seen the errors on to the paperback version I had from like 5 or 6 years before. There were no errors in the paperback one, but in this, absolutely unbelievable. They have proofreaders. But I soldiered through and I read it all the way to the end. Enjoyed it. But when it was all said and done, you know, any Tolkien fan will acknowledge it's a children's book. And it is just a build-up to The Lord of the Rings. So then I dug out my trusty 1-volume Lord of the Rings. It was first published in this edition in 1966, but this is the 1969 copy, which is published on India paper. I'm going to put this page down because I'm sucking like a lunatic and it's not working. Published on India paper, and I had to actually research when I saw that to see what India paper is. Now this book is over 50 years old. Yeah, it's about 50 years old. I've got paperbacks that are about 40 or 30 years old, where the paper has gone brown to the extent that you can hardly read it. This, as you can see, is completely legible for a paperback book. I can only put it down to the India paper, which, so I understand, is made of shredded flax and something else. So it stood me in good stead. Still lasting. Spine's not cracked either. But having decided to read them again, having read them both many, many times before, cheers, in these internet days, of course, I decided to do a little research, and I found out something that I'd never known prior to the time that I did this research. No, boy, I hadn't. It's true. The ladies and gentlemen got fed up with me doing that. No, boy, no. Who knows? This is boogie woogie. I mean, you can tell, you can hear little Richard in this. 20 years before Little Richard became famous. I do apologise if I'm stumbling over my words, but I have had quite a lot of beer because of the rugby. I blame the rugby. But anyway, yeah, I started doing a little bit of research. And do you know that what we know as The Hobbit now is not entirely as it appeared in the first edition? The Hobbit first appeared in 1937 and was a massive bestseller. Tolkien had already started work on a sequel, but his publishers got in touch and said, we need something now. And the reason I'm wearing my reading glasses, I will read Tolkien's own words from the foreword. The Hobbit was written, and before its publication in 1937, it was big. This talking about the Lord of the Rings. It was begun soon after The Hobbit was written and before its publication in 1937. But I did not go on with this sequel, for I wished first to complete and set in order the mythology and legends of the elder days, which had then been taking shape for some years. I desired to do this for my own satisfaction, and I had little hope that other people would be interested in this work. Skip a chunk. When those whose advice and opinion I sought, i.e. his publishers, corrected little hope to no hope, I went back to the sequel, encouraged by requests from readers for more information concerning hobbits and their adventures. So after the success of The Hobbit, what he gave to his publishers at their request was what eventually became the Silmarillion, a first edition of which I've got back up there. And they said, no, people want to hear about hobbits. And so that's why he went back to the Lord of the Rings. But the really interesting thing is, not only that, he had to go back and rewrite part of The Hobbit, because in the first edition, which I've never seen, and I doubt, I may be making an assumption here, but I doubt any of you have ever seen either, the riddle game between Bilbo and Gollum was entirely different. Gollum actually bet his magic ring on the riddle game, and when Bilbo won, he gave it up and they parted amicably. And so it was when Tolkien was told he had to go back and write a sequel about more hobbits and return to the Lord of the Rings, he had to go back and revise the whole Gollum and Bilbo chapter and change the tone of it so that it became something entirely different. I'd love to have a first edition of The Hobbit just to read it. Any road up. I've got no idea how long this has gone on for, because unlike my phone, I can't actually see. Probably far too long. I do apologise if I've been stumbling over my words. As I say, I have consumed too much beer, or rather more than is good for making a video. But as I also said, blame the rugby. Who knows whether this will ever see the light of day. But in the meantime, I wish you all well. And hope to speak to you again soon. It's still a light. And I think one of my lungs is about to collapse. We're off, boy. Ta-da, everyone. Speak to you again soon. And I've just realised I can't lean forward and turn it off like I used to with my phone. So, ta-da, everyone. See you again soon. And I'll clip the rest off. Bye. Oh, sorry, boy.